Our top story on KCAL 9 News at noon. Investigators right now sifting through the wreckage in Riverside after that fiery and deadly plane crash.
We've learned more about the 3 people who died when their plane slammed into a home yesterday. The plane went down on Rhonda Road, not far from the Riverside Airport.
We have live team coverage for you this afternoon. We're going to start off with KCAL 9's Jasmine Veal. And Jasmine just got some new information at a news conference.
Yeah, that's right. And these NTSB investigators are still here as well. And they're going to give their own briefing later this afternoon from what they found here among the pieces of this plane. And within the hour, that new information coming in from the fire department about the victims. Investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board studied the wreckage this morning of a small plane that crashed into these Riverside homes and burst into flames yesterday afternoon. Cell phone video captured the chaos yesterday as Dave Swinfard's house burned. He had been on his couch doing a crossword puzzle when the plane came down in his front room.
I was just sitting there and all of a sudden, boom. It would have been 15 feet over. It would have landed on me. You know, but it didn't.
His hair singed this morning from those flames, but otherwise okay. His cats didn't make it. Authorities say 5 people were on board the plane headed to San Jose. A man, a teen girl, and a woman were killed. 2 other women were taken to the hospital, one with serious burns.
We saw that there's a chance for savable victims inside that house. Our firefighters did a rapid search and they found one of the victims that's alive today inside one of the bedrooms.
Aviation expert and pilot Jose Moreno watched this security cam footage that shows the last few seconds of the doomed flight. He was working at the Riverside Airport when the plane took off a half-mile from where it crashed. He says it appears the plane's left engine failed and it went down at 120 miles per hour.
The pilot has to do several things fast. He's level the nose and then identify which engine failed.
It was just flying and it did an awkward tilt. And then it just went straight down.
Jonathan Cortez and his dad were working nearby and knew the plane was in trouble. His dad ran to help and saw one of the victims on the ground.
I think she say, my daughter is the only one I hear.
And now this aftermath holding the clues for these investigators on what exactly happened. Yeah, and I actually want to step out of the way right now. I'm seeing even more people and some folks returning to their home right now. Some had voluntarily left last night only to come back maybe to collect some things. But I can tell you that, Sandy Juan, the Riverside Police Department earlier this morning told me that the airport's control tower only contacted their emergency dispatch center after this plane had crashed. So it appears no distress call was even sent out. It's unclear still who the pilot was, the relationship between the people on board this plane, only that they were headed home from a cheerleading competition at Disneyland.
And Jasmine, sounds like it all happened very quickly. Thank you.
We have more now on those neighbors. KCAL 9's Tina Patel continues our team coverage. She's live in the neighborhood where many were badly shaken by the crash. Tina?
Guys, now that some of the shock has worn off, people in this neighborhood are starting to wonder whether it is safe to live here so close to the airport and whether something like this might happen again. Neighbors in Riverside are saddened to see the wreckage from yesterday's plane crash and the damage to these homes.
It's very shocking, but not surprising because of all the planes that pass by all the time.
This neighborhood is just a mile from the Riverside Municipal Airport. And in fact, there was another deadly crash in the area just 2 years ago. In that case, the pilot lost engine power and tried to turn back to the airport for an emergency landing.
But he didn't make it and just hit the house right across the street. So, you know, you don't have a lot of areas where you can come down in an emergency.
That's why Jose Nava is starting to worry about whether his own home near the airport might be in a danger zone.
But you never know where they're going to come down and for what reason.
But people who fly regularly out of Riverside say accidents like this are very rare.
As a youth, I lived in a house at the end of the airport for many years, and there was never any actual crashes in the neighborhoods. There's some problems here at the airport, but not in the neighborhood.
That was a sentiment echoed by a Riverside City Council member this morning. He says the FAA wouldn't have allowed the airport to be here if it wasn't safe.
I'm actually a licensed pilot. An incident like this is something that's unforeseen. It's an aircraft taking off from an airport, and then ultimately we don't know what happened as to what caused the crash.
Now, it appears that yesterday the plane took off towards the east, ending up in this neighborhood here. But pilots tell us most of the time at Riverside Municipal Airport, the planes take off towards the west. And they say there is a lot of open space in that direction if there is an emergency. We'll send it back to you in the station.
All right, Tina, thank you. Stay with KCAL 9 News and KCAL9.com for the very latest developments on that deadly